My name is Aruna Udawatte, and I was born in Sri Lanka back in 1971. And at the time I was born, Sri Lanka was a dominion of United Kingdom or the Great Britain at the time, and we were under the rule of the Queen. And the place I was born was called the Royal Air Force. It was an Air Force base, and I grew up in the Air Force bases in Katunayake and in Trincomalee, and then I studied in Colombo, and later on I moved to the UK. That was back in 2004. It's been 21 years now, and I'm in Newcastle-upon-Tyne. That's where we came just because we live in a colder country. I think my say prominent memory or the nostalgic memory is about the 365 days summer we used to have, and yes, warm weather, warm beaches, even the rain was warm. And say when it was the monsoon rain time, we used to take our clothes off and just jump in the rain. So that's one of the memories. And then I would say the hill country, the ancient ruins of the country, and the culture and food. Above all, I would say it's the people. And yeah, we don't have much, but we tend to live a happy life or happy-go-lucky life, I would say. Party-loving country. We don't need a reason for a party. Anything, a wedding, funeral, just meeting a friend will end up with a drink and sing a song. So yeah, I think that's my lasting memory of the country I was born. We had a 30-year uh, like civil war, and it covers almost all my life in Sri Lanka. And the memory I have is when we went to school. Like say, I lived outside or in the suburbs of our capital city, Colombo. Yeah, every day when we went to school, we didn't know whether we'll come back home or not. The bus bombings, the train bombings, the bombings in like public places. That was a daily occurrence. Here was the overriding uh, feeling, uncertainty, and not knowing what will happen next. It was a scary time, scary life, but somehow we managed to find enjoyment in that as well. Like say, probably because we didn't know whether we would live to see another day. So say the day we had, we tried to enjoy it to the fullest.
So, how did it feel to uproot your life and move to Newcastle?
Uh, to start with, uh, I would say it's difficult, and I, as you know, I'm a social animal. I need people around me, and I grew up with lots of friends around me, and I've never been like isolated, and but I felt isolated when I came over here. I didn't have a friend to share a drink, and I don't drink without a friend. When I came over here, I felt uh, like I kind of lost my way a little bit. But when I first came over here for about the first 3 months or so, it was very similar to being in China. I couldn't understand a word the Jodis were saying. And yeah, on a random basis, I would say yes or no to any of the questions they would ask. To start with, I didn't understand what they were saying, but when I started understanding them, I kind of worked out that they are fun to build up relationships, or at least hold a conversation with the friendly people around me. I need to like come to some sort of understanding about football. If I didn't know much about football, I couldn't kind of get into a conversation, especially with the lads. So I would read all the free newspapers just to gain a bit of idea about the area I live in. With time, I started picking the language, and I have to give the Geordie people credit as well. Uh, for the time I've been here, they are the most hospitable people, friendly, nice. I haven't had any trouble, I would say, in the bigger picture. This is something probably most migrants don't realize. Or I don't know whether it's only happening to me. I still dream in Sinhalese. I say I don't see dreams in English. So somewhere here, they say that there is not a bit, a lot, uh, which relates to where I came from, or say my country of birth. I am British, but I've got a, a story behind me, and I think that story weaves back to Sri Lanka, and I don't want to lose that identity as well. And I'm proud to be a Sri Lankan, and I think that serves better than trying to be somebody who you are not. Say, if there's a term called like the African Americans, if we have a Sri Lankan British or British Sri Lankan, yes, that is who I am. Beach and the sea is always a place where, say, you can kind of you can gaze at it without any thoughts coming into your head as well. I have crossed a few oceans to get here. Initially, when we came in, we only had you, and later on, we had two Malilas. But to make sure that you grew up in a safer society than we grew up in, the sea is like that as well. Say you can kind of gaze at it. You'd see the calmer seas, and suddenly the rough sea following it. It's kind of wanted to avoid the rough bit for you guys, and make it much more calmer, easier for your lives than ours.